everyone, it is Dani'i and welcome to this update video. I hope you're doing really good. Now we're going to be talking about these two systems along with a tropical wave which is just entering the Eastern Caribbean. So we've still got Hurricane Rafael. Matter of fact, Rafael had strengthened and it's back to Category 3 status because it slammed Cuba as a 115 mile per hour Cat 3, and then it weakened because of course it was crossing over land. Then it further weakened as it entered the southeast Gulf of Mexico. However, it has since re-strengthened and is back to Cat 3 status, even slightly stronger than it was when it hit Cuba. So maximum sustained winds are at 120 miles per hour. We're going to be looking at the details for the system, and let's get straight to it. So here we also have this tropical disturbance which is located just to the north of Puerto Rico. Now this is moving to the west, generally on a westward track, and the environment isn't highly favorable right now for it to develop. However, it is certainly a rainmaker for the northern islands of the Caribbean, Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, even for Hispaniola, especially the Dominican Republic. And as it continues to drift to the west, other areas such as the Turks and Caicos, Bahamas, and Cuba are likely to be impacted by the system. Let's go ahead and take a look at the satellite imagery, and here we can see what's going on. So there's Rafael in the Gulf, a major hurricane out there, and then there's also that next disturbance. We can see all of the activity in association with it. And as I mentioned, there is a tropical wave that is entering the Caribbean. There's a lot of moisture associated with that system as well. Here's a closer look at the Caribbean so we can see what's going on. For right now, much of Cuba and Jamaica are in the clear, and even parts of Central America and the Cayman Islands. So nothing crazy is happening for those areas. As we look at the rainfall forecast for today, here we can see what is expected. So for the Lesser Antilles, Anguilla through Grenada, including Barbados, there could be some periods of heavy rainfall today, even possible for parts of Trinidad and Tobago, although the rainfall chance isn't very substantial there. Then for Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, again, that disturbance is in the area, so that's going to be enhancing the rain, especially for the Virgin Islands. As we head to Hispaniola, which includes the Dominican Republic and Haiti, similar thing. Then for the southern Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, there could most definitely be some periods of heavy rainfall today. Not a whole lot of rain anticipated for Cuba, Little Cayman, Cayman Brac, but for parts of Grand Cayman and Jamaica, there could be some downpours across the island. Not at all going to be for everywhere, but especially as we head to the afternoon, some areas could definitely experience some showers. Looking to Central America, for parts of Belize, Mexico, Guatemala, the Bay Islands, the Keys, Honduras, and even parts of northern Nicaragua, we're not seeing a whole lot of color around because the more color we see indicates more rain. So that area is likely to be on the drier side today. However, for the rest of Nicaragua, Costa Rica, going to Panama, Colombia, there could be some downpours, even some heavy rain at times, which may be enough to trigger flooding. ABC Islands, some moistures in the area. You guys may receive some downpours today. Similar thing for a few spots in Venezuela. But as we head to Guyana, Suriname, and French Guiana, not a whole lot of rainfall is expected at all as we head throughout today. And in the Gulf, associated with Rafael, we can see those very high rain totals expected, maybe going up to 8 inches or so. So fortunately, Rafael is not impacting land at the moment and is not expected to do so over the course of the next several days, actually. So let's talk a bit more about Rafael, looking at the cone forecast for it here. And we can see, so it has maximum sustained winds up to 120 miles per hour, as I had mentioned, and it is accelerating westward at 9 miles per hour. Now, it is going to be moving a bit erratic in the Gulf of Mexico. So it's going to continue west, move up to the northwest, make a curve, go to the northeast, make a turn south. So, I mean, there's a lot of uncertainty with the track of it as well. And while it's going to be doing all of that dance in the Gulf, it is likely going to be weakening as well because conditions will become a bit more unfavorable. So that is going to allow the system to weaken. And we can see that by next Wednesday it is forecast to be post-tropical in the Gulf of Mexico, not impacting land at that point. So we'll see what eventually happens with it, and of course I'll keep you guys posted. So for right now, it doesn't look as though the Gulf Coast of the US is going to be feeling any significant impacts from the system. I mean, you know, the fact that it is in the Gulf right now and it is a major hurricane is likely generating those those more unsettled seas offshore. But in terms of direct impacts, in terms of the rain, the strong winds, the storm surge, it's unlikely that that is impacting those areas right now. But those seas most definitely are unsettled offshore. So not the ideal time to go to the beach, especially with the threat of those rip currents. But as I said, it's going to be doing that little dance in the Gulf, moving a bit erratic, and then eventually weakening while it does so. Now, let's move on to this disturbance. 20% formation chance over the course of the next 7 days. So as I said, the conditions are not highly favorable for it to develop right now. However, it is likely going to be a rainmaker. And a lot of times with these systems, we don't need it to become a named storm. We don't need a potential tropical cyclone or even a hurricane for there to be significant impacts. Something as this, or even a tropical wave, is enough to unleash dangerous impacts. And one of the main impacts when it comes onto tropical systems is the rainfall, the flooding that accompanies all that heavy rainfall, and even the mudslides as well. That's the danger here. So guys, if you should encounter any heavy rainfall, any floodwaters, please turn around, don't drown, don't take any unnecessary risks. Unfortunately, in Jamaica, during Rafael, while it was passing by the island, we did have 2 fatalities, unfortunately. So 2 people were washed away in a van, and it's just a very unfortunate situation. So, this is why we always implore you guys, whenever you see these flooded roadways, do not attempt to drive through, do not attempt to cross. Do not overestimate your vehicle either, because you may be surprised that it only takes a couple inches of moving water to be able to lift and carry away a car. So my condolences to the friends, to the family of those 2 persons, and please stay safe, guys. And something else that I want to point out, I did in my previous video as well, in regards to the Caribbean still remaining active in November, models have been hinting at another area of low pressure forming in the similar region as Rafael. So this is a look at the GFS ensembles for the course of the next 10 days. And we can see those low pressure, those L's to show the area of low pressure expected in parts of the Western Caribbean over the next several days. Even for Euro, we can see these different members not showing anything very strong as of right now, but they're definitely picking up on something within the area. So we want to keep watch for the Caribbean. The hurricane season is not over yet, and who knows, even beyond the 30th of November, we could still see activity trying to materialize in the Caribbean, because we are in a La Nina season, and towards the end of the season is quite active, and that usually favors more tropical development as well. So we definitely want to keep watch at the Caribbean. Within another week plus, we could have something else to talk about. But for right now, Rafael is out there. There's a tropical wave moving in, and there is that disturbance north of the Eastern Caribbean, which is going to be a rainmaker. So that's it for now, guys. That's what I wanted to share with you in this video, and I do hope you found it to be informative. However, if you do have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. I'll respond to you when I can, and remember to always be weatherwise.